Swiss days will be wild if
It'd be crazy.
can get it together this year, and I think they will. Let's talk about the NECC right now. Big division, Fairfield. It wasn't all that long ago, again, that they were a powerhouse. And we talk about the cyclical nature of high school sports. They're back to being the team to beat, I think, if you will, in challenging Angola at the top of the big school division. How do you see that one playing out? Because Matt Thacker has really turned a program that was at its quite a depth when he took it over, and has managed to turn it around rather quickly.
In 2 years.
Tipping the cap to him. How do you see this playing out?
Yeah, remember those days when it was Fairfield-Lakeland was like the game of the year in the NECC for like 3-4 years, and then that kind of went away. But Fairfield, what they were able to do last year was tremendous. 2 years ago, getting murdered by Angola by like 70, and then they go back to Angola 2 years later last year and get a victory over the Hornets. It just shows how impressive that turnaround under Coach Matt Thacker has been. And I look at Fairfield and lost some pieces, but I feel like that scheme and what they run and the guys they bring back puts them in a good position to repeat in that division. Angola has some really ultra-talented underclasses. When you look at the sophomore and freshman and even the 8th grade classes are phenomenal. I still think they're maybe a year or two away from getting back to those days when we saw them go back-to-back undefeateds in the NECC. Still feel like they're a bit away. I think they can challenge Fairfield. But how about the Falcons, man? It's been tremendous. You can say it's gimmicky, whatever. It works. They're contenders, and they're defending division champs. I see them doing it again.
The thing I like about Angola is that now they're plugging guys in each and every year, and they're successful in the season. And granted, they're a very large school, but specifically in the NECC. But, man, it's nice to see them have sustained success, and it wasn't just one group. It seems to be something that's going to be consistent year in and year out. Andy Thomas has done a nice job there. Small school division. East Side was a juggernaut last year. You're talking about Busco's good every season. Hayden Kilgore has done some nice things early on at Central Noble. How do you see this playing out? Is East Side the team to beat, no doubt, as far as the small school division goes?
I don't see them as dominant as they were a year ago, but they are still the decided favorite in that small school division. You bring back Laban Davis, who finally looks like a high school kid after for so many years just looking, like a middle schooler. But he's built physique-wise, in the face. He looks like a mature quarterback, and I think that's bad news for the rest of the NECC. You factor in Gavin Wallace, who's a phenomenal wide receiver coming back. Dax Holman as a sophomore, I think, was a kid that flew under the radar in the NECC. I still like them in that small school division, but Cherubusco, after a couple years kind of not being a factor, I think they rise up. Riley Burhoff now is an experienced junior at quarterback. Hunter Byansky, Nick Dondorf, those guys have been performing for 2-3 years now. I think the depth and experience is there over the last couple years for Cherubusco to maybe make a run at East Side, but I still say the Blazers are the favorite there.
Yeah, they played a lot of sophomores last year,
Absolutely.
did Coach Paul say, and it is going to pay off in the short term and the long term, I think.
Absolutely.
If there's one team in the NECC that you like that people aren't talking about, who would it be? Like West Noble, Garrett. I mean, we've seen Garrett historically have such a strong program. Wasn't really all that long ago that they were playing Concordia, and was that a semi-state?
It was a semi-state. It was great. We didn't have to go very far.
In the storm, I remember that was a nasty night.
And that was the toughest game of the playoffs for Concordia.
Yes, it was. They
breezed through everybody else.
That is true. They looked. That was the best. That was the state championship.
Yeah, it effectively was.
I mean, the way that they went down to Indianapolis and blew the team out near Cincinnati. It's escaping my. It was.
I can't even.
Was it
remember
Lawrenceburg? I don't know.
I think it was Lawrenceburg.
Somewhere near Cincinnati. Right. We don't remember their names because they didn't score.
No, they didn't.
But
they didn't matter.
It didn't matter. But this show matters, and it's important. And what are you looking forward to about this upcoming season? Because we're ready to get it going on Friday night.
Yeah, we are, and while there is some, COVID and stuff out there, it's some semblance of normalcy, and we're going to kick it off with a great, opening of the great facility at Carroll on Friday night, and I'm just ready to see how it shakes out in the SAC, and also a team that, I'm watching from the peripheral is Warsaw. And don't talk about them much with the Northern Lakes Conference, but for so long they were kind of the afterthought out of the area, but they still play our teams in area in the playoffs. 2 years ago, they win a sectional when they beat Chesterton and Penn, but nobody really noticed around here. But last year, we saw them beat Carroll in the sectional and really gave a great game to Homestead in that sectional championship game. And while they have to replace some things, It's that gimmicky Bart ball, right? With Coach Bart Curtis up there. And the flex bone, similar to Fairfield, right? They make up for all these types of deficiencies by what they run. And I think in 6A, could they be a team to watch? I'm not talking state or anything like that, but they're a team to watch when they match up with the likes of Northrop and Carroll and Homestead in 6A. So that's a team to watch, defending NLC champions, see if they can do it again. But overall, just the optimism. Everybody feels like they had a good summer. You know how it is on media day. Oh, great summer. We're really ready. And then things go to crap pretty quickly for teams starting on Friday. But should be a lot of fun.
Yes. I'll tell you, Warsaw's a photographer's nightmare with those black jerseys and the way that they do all the misdirection under the lights.
Yeah, you're trying to find who's got the ball.
The ball, but that's a problem for us, and we've got a zoom lens, and it's got to be even worse for the defenders.
Yes, so, that's the point for Bart Ball.
Nobody knows where the ball's going. It works. If it ain't broke, don't fix it, which is why we're back every Monday right here on Wayne.com talking high school football leading up to what should be a great first Friday here on the Highlight Zone at Wayne TV. So for Justin, I'm Glenn, and we'll see you next Monday as we recap Week 1 and look forward to Week 2. See you then.